I was just reviewing the notes that Alex left. Did you speak with Alex on the phone?
No, I did not. Just email.
Just emailed? Okay. Well, before we jump into this, two things. Tell me what you're doing now for timekeeping, and tell me what you're looking for. Why are we talking today?
Right now, we use a very old timekeeping system called Pyramid Time Tracks.
Okay.
Um, it's, well, like I said, it's very old. It is freezing up on us very badly when we want to generate reports or anything really. It takes a very, very long time. So we're afraid it's going to crash on us very soon. Um,
Sure.
so we were going to just update it, but I am looking for a little bit more than what it's giving me. It just gives me kind of the punches, and that's about it. We
Okay.
are a nursing home, so we have to comply with the CMS PBJ reporting,
Okay.
and so I'm really looking for something that generates that for me,
Absolutely.
or makes it easier for me because right now I'm having to calculate everyone's time every day and then input it manually into the CMS PBJ portal. And it's just a lot easier for me to make mistakes on,
Oh, yeah.
and, and it takes me all day to do. So I would really like to make that easier for me, maybe not so much time on it. And
Sure. Okay. So just the PBJ reporting, tracking the hours, and of course just streamlining the whole process. Is there anything else that you need the system to track?
I would like, if it's possible, when the employees clock, like when they clock in and out, or even if they have their own portal, maybe they could log into where they can see like how much vacation time they have, how much sick time they have, maybe
Yep.
even pay stubs. I don't know how all that works, but
Okay.
just something where they don't have to come to us and like us in the business office and ask us every single time, and then we have to look stuff up and calculate and things like that.
Okay. And for payroll, I show here that you guys use a third-party provider. Is that correct?
Yes, we usually
Okay.
generate a report every pay period that just shows their name, how many hours they worked in the pay period, their wage, and then I just fax it to our accountant, and then she does everything else.
Okay. Did your accountant tell you about us, or did you find us on your own?
I just found you on my own.
Okay. Easy enough. We do partner with third-party payroll providers and CPAs, and they refer their clients to us. So that's why I asked. So,
Okay.
but okay. So everything you're looking for, I'm glad you found SwipeClock because we can check all your boxes, and
All right.
it may seem like it's a lot for what you're asking for, but on my side, it's all pretty standard and easy to do stuff, right? So with SwipeClock, our system is cloud-based, so it's all accessed online. Okay, so it's very user-friendly, it's very accessible, both for employees and managers. You can access the system in real time, so the moment employees punch a clock, it will be visible in your manager's portal. Um, so essentially what we do is we just identify which methods you want your employees to use to clock in and out every day. So whether you want a piece of hardware, like what you're seeing on your screen right now, so a clock that you can hang on the wall, use a fingerprint, proximity badge, pin entry, or if you wanted something without hardware, we do a browser-based clock, which employees can utilize through a computer or a tablet. But what we do here is we restrict this clock by IP address. So that way, if they're at home and they log on, they're not able to clock in and out through this portal. They have to be at the right location or using the right computer in order to access the clock to punch in and out.
Okay.
Okay. The third and final method is a mobile app. So if they've got a smartphone, they can download our mobile app. It's free once we get your account all built. And this will allow the employees to clock in and out while they're out in the field. Now, we want to ensure that employees are in the right locations. So we offer management location services. And what that does is it offers geo-tracking and geo-tagging. So the geo-tagging, each time the employee uses their mobile device and they access the clock and they clock in and out, the system is going to record their location on a Google map, and that will be visible to managers. You can take it one step further, and the geo-fencing allows you to put, like 100-foot fence around your office building. And as long as employees are inside that fence, you're good to go. If they travel outside that fence and they clock in or out, we're going to, in real time, email their manager that the employee's not in the right location. Okay? So once we decide on what method we use, from there, then we just look at what features you want the system to do. So you did mention a portal. Now, the nice thing with our mobile app is you can turn the clock off. So employees cannot use their mobile phone to clock in and out. But there are other areas of their portal that they can access. The first one is a time card. So employees can pull out their phone, they can look at the current pay period, and they can keep track of their daily hours, their weekly hours, and how many hours they've worked for the pay period. Okay. They'll also have a time off section in here. Now, what this allows us to do is tell the system how to automatically track and calculate your PTO, your sick time, your bereavement, all of that. So we can create as many buckets, and you can label those buckets to store hours in, and we just tell the system to automatically accrue it, meaning they earn it over time, or we just give them a lump sum and employees can request and use that time off until it's gone. Okay. So all of that can be done on a mobile device, and they can also do it through a computer. Okay, so if they're at home, again, we can turn the clock off if they're at home, but they can still come and look at their time card. Okay. They can also leave you notes on the time card. So if they forget to clock out, if you need any additional information, they can leave notes either through the mobile app or a computer. Okay. Now, one thing I like to point out that's rarely utilized is you can give your employees the ability to edit or log their own time manually if you want to.
Okay, yeah, I probably wouldn't want that.
Yeah, most of the time it's reserved for management. So, okay. And then of course they've got the time off section in here as well. So you'll notice that this is just an example, but I've got multiple buckets here. I've labeled them, COVID-19, floating holiday, and then I just plug hours in to each box. And that gives the employees the ability to tell you, hey, I want to take July 31st off, and I'm going to use my personal time or my vacation time or whatever. Okay. Now, the moment that they submit this time off request, it will send my manager an email. And my computer has a lag right now. So everything happens in real time. Okay.
That's good, because right now I have to wait on the system I have to refresh it and then wait for 10 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's probably annoying. Yeah, with this one, nope. Whether it's an employee punching in or out, or if they're submitting a time off request, everything happens in real time, which makes it really, really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just decide which. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do we get our own URL for this, or is it just clocks.payrollservice?
It'll be just this URL. Okay. I do know that for some they can brand it. So if you did want, on this home screen right here. I think we can put your logo on this home screen. I think. I can check.
Okay.
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 So as a manager, we're going to take a look at your portal. That's what you'll see on your screen right now. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter which clock the employees use. So for example, I could log in through my computer in the morning and then use my mobile phone to punch out at night. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone's hours are going to pool together in this portal here. Now how you navigate is on the left, and majority of your time will be spent in the time card section. Okay, so we've got a couple of different views here. So if I wanted to look at today's entries, I just click on that day and it will show me all of my employees and the times that they clocked in. Okay, as a manager, I can edit a mistake. So it doesn't matter if it's a single employee or if I click and I go into their time card, I can hit the edit button. So if someone makes a mistake, they forget to clock out, every manager with login credentials can edit and change those mistakes.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a couple areas that you'll spend some time in. The time cards is by far the most, because that's where you're going to go and review everyone's time, make sure that it's accurate, and get it ready for your CPA. Under the main menu here, your time off requests will populate. And again, you set up the chain of emails on who they go out to. So each employee may have a different supervisor that when they request time off, it'll go to them and not the others. So you can define that in this system.
Yeah, good.
Okay. So as those requests come through, you'll just expand your pending, and it will give you all the information, when it was requested, by what employee, what day they want off, how many hours they have, and what they have available.
Okay.
Okay. So I can quickly approve it or decline it. And then again, everything is updated by emails. So that employee will receive an email.
Awesome.
Okay. You've got a little calendar here if you want to reference. And as employees take days off, there's a little check mark on that day.
Okay.
Okay. Now, those days off, when they are requested, they do flow over automatically onto the time cards. Okay.
Okay.
So as an employee requests a vacation or a holiday or a sick day, it will populate on their time card with the correct amount of hours. And it will show up in your reports that you send over to your payroll provider as well.
Okay.
Okay, so everything will be split out for you.
Do we have to approve them before that happens, or does it automatically do it?
So you will actually go into the system and manually run a report, and then just email that report over to Patrick, is who I show his name is, right? And I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I mean, like the vacation time, you said that it automatically goes into his time card, but does it have to be approved first before it goes there?
Oh, yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, if I come to my reports menu on the left over here,
Okay.
I can expand that, and you can see that we give you quite a few reports to choose from. The most common is this summary report down here near the bottom.
Okay.
And this will save you a bundle of time. So all we're going to do is we're going to select the pay period that we want to review. And then we can hit submit down here at the bottom. And it will consolidate all of our employees and their total hours worked into one report that you can save, you can print.
Okay.
Okay. Now for PBJ, I don't have it turned on in this one because this isn't a healthcare account.
Okay.
But let me see if I can show you one. My computer's acting a little funny right now, so. Oh, I gotta log out. So I'm glad that you found us for the PBJ reporting, because we already have that pre-built. So all you have to do is come in here and run a report.
Awesome.
And it's already done for you. Come
Great.
on, computer. Yeah, so whatever took you a full day, now it's going to take you like 2 or 3 minutes, if even that.
Yes.
Okay, let me show you here. I have this like weird lag on my computer. Every time I type or click something, it takes a second. It's weird.
I love technology.
I know, right? It just started too.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, so I'm just showing you another example here. So these aren't live accounts, if you will.
Okay.
But what we do is, where's the PBJ report? Okay, it's not in that one. Let me see if I can find one. Give me one sec.
Okay.
But all it is, it might be this one, is it's just a report that we've already created. And all we do is we just turn it on. Nope. I don't know what account it's under. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not too familiar with the PBJ report. So what does that report show? It shows hours worked over a specific amount of time and employees. Does it need to show anything else?
Well, each employee has their own number that's assigned to them, and then it's per day how much they work that has to be inputted into it. So, like, I mean, we're a nursing home, so we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So my midnight people who work, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., I have to break it up by day. So if they
Sure.
work, Wednesday 8 p.m. to Thursday 8 a.m., I have to break it up where it's Wednesday 8 to midnight is 4 hours, and then the next day, you know what I mean? Like I have to break it up from midnight to midnight.
I do, yeah. Okay. I'm still trying to find. I just paused my screen so I don't make you dizzy. But there's another way that I can show it to you. Crap. Can you still see my screen?
I can still see it, yeah, it's frozen.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it just did something weird on me. Okay. Come on, computer. Don't die on me. Oh, I am so sorry for this. My computer seems to be frozen. Give me one sec. Come on. Weird. Okay, let's do this. There we go. There we go. All right, I think we're back in business. Okay, so what we will do on the back end for you is we are going to turn on our PBJ reporting. So, PBJ, where are you?
Oh, nope, I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's payroll-based journal. Yeah.
Ah, right there.
Yeah.
Right there. So all we do is there's no additional charge unless we need to customize this report. But all we do is we just go in there and turn on that report for you. And
Okay.
it's already built, it's already designed, and it will sit in your reports menu right here.
Okay.
Okay. And then all you'll need to do is just go and run that report. And similar to the summary report, you're just going to select a date range.
Okay.
Okay. Now, some of the clients that we've built, I believe that they needed to pull additional information. So they were able to kind of customize that PBJ report a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, on these clocks, this one right here, you may have noticed that we've got more than just the in and the out option.
Yeah.
So this clock is smart, right? So it recognizes when an employee is clocked into the system. That way they can't clock in multiple times.
Right.
We can also turn on break and meal tracking. So that's what these two buttons are. And what that'll do is it gives the employees a button or a method to clock in and out for those breaks. On the manager's side, they can run a report to separate out those breaks. But on the time card itself, it will actually show you when employees clocked in and out for a break or when they took a lunch and how long that lunch was. So in
Okay.
some states, it's really imperative that they show or prove that information, right, in case they were to get audited.
Yeah.
So you'll see these transfers and then these mill starts. So is that something that your employees do now? Do they clock in and out for lunch?
Only if they leave the building.
Only if
Do
they
they
leave
clock
the
in.
building. Okay. Now the
Our system takes 30 minutes out if they work 6 hours or more automatically.
an auto deduct. Okay, that's what I was going to say next. Is I've got this column up at the top, and I've told this system to auto deduct a lunch if they work so many hours per day. So we can do the same thing.
Awesome.
Okay. We can also round the punches. So
Okay,
we can that was another question.
yeah.
So we can track down to the minute, or if you want to put in a rounding rule, we have all sorts of different ways that we can round these punches up or down.
Okay.
Okay. Another item that we can turn on the clocks. So for you, we'll turn these off. They won't see them. We can just automatically deduct the lunch.
Okay.
Another item that these clocks can do is they can collect information from the employees when they're clocking in or out for the day. So if you needed an employee to specify a location or a job, or if they need to tell you how many mileage they drove, or if they collected any tips, we can collect that information and report on it if we need to.
Okay.
Do you need any type of tracking like that?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. So again, then we just turn off that button and they will just use the clocks to clock in and out.
Okay.
Okay. Now, another thing, now you may see that we've got pay rates in here. So you mentioned that your current system, it does show wages in timekeeping?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to keep that the same?
Well, I mean, the employees don't see it. I see it, you know,
Yeah, the
on my.
employees won't see it in our system. The reason I
Okay.
ask is, from my experience and my recommendation, we want to keep payroll with payroll and timekeeping with timekeeping. So my recommendation would be to turn off the wages and the pay rates in this system and pull those reports through payroll. Reason being is we can put pay rate information in here, but it's going to be gross. It's not going to be net. So
Okay.
when you run a report and you're looking at wages worked for the day or for the week or for the month, it's just going to show gross. So when you send it over to payroll, they're going to handle all the deductions and the taxes and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? But it's up to you if you want to put them in here, and we can. And how we do that is each employee has a profile. And under that profile, this is where we tell the system, yes, this is an active user. No, it's not. So we can deactivate them from the system, but we keep all of their records.
Okay.
Okay. This is where you can come in and say what type of clock each employee you want to utilize. Okay. So who has mobile rights, who has web, either or. Okay. Where you assign or reset login credentials. Okay, but then down here at the bottom, we've got these additional data fields. and this is where we can put pay rate information.
Okay.
Okay. So all of these fields right here are designed for tracking and reporting. So if I wanted to run a report and just find employees in a specific department, I would be able to filter all of that information.
Okay.
Okay. So up to you if you want to put pay rates in here or not. And the way that this system works is behind the scenes, we will map so that when you run the report and send the hours over into payroll, he can quickly import them. And if they work any overtime, if they take any holiday pay, all of that is going to align correctly.
Okay.
Okay. So do your pay rates, does it change for the employees at all based off of jobs worked or hours worked or anything like that?
It changes annually after, they've been, like, on their annual hire date, we give them a raise.
Okay. So we can do that. We can't automate that in the system.
Right.
But whether you update it in here, you'll also need to update it in payroll, right? So we'll just want to be diligent about that. What else can I show you? Any other questions at all?
I have 5 employees that are on a salary-based pay.
Okay.
How does that work?
So with your salaried employees, you basically have 2 options. Now, the way that our billing works is this is just a monthly subscription, so it's pay as you go.
Okay.
And it's based off of employees using the system. And you can use the system in 3 ways. You can track time, we can track your PTO, or we can utilize the scheduling tool. Okay. If you're salaried in people, you can put them in here, and if they're not going to be punching a clock, if we're not going to track any overtime and we're not doing any scheduling, there is no charge for that employee to be in the system.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you're salaried employees, if you want us to track their PTO and you want it to show up in reports and you want to give them a way to track or to submit time off requests, then you can put them in the system and you will see that charge for them.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the cost is extremely simple. It's $4 per employee per month. Okay. You'll have a one-time implementation and training fee. That's $388. Okay. And that includes building your complete account. So how it works is I'll send you a DocuSign with the pricing. When you're ready to get started, you'll just sign that, send it back to me. And then I send you a list of or a spreadsheet to get a list of your employees, just some basic information, right? Their name, full-time, part-time, things like that.
Okay.
Once I have that, I get you over into my implementation queue, and a rep will contact you within 24 hours and schedule a kickoff call. And
Okay.
that kickoff call is 30 to 60 minutes, and he just reviews everything about your company. So we build your account so that's as automated as possible, right? So overtime rules, work weeks, things like that. Once it's built, then we set up a training with you and your staff, and we train you in your own account. Okay. And that takes about 7 to 10 business days, so not long at all.
Okay.
Okay. What else? Did you have an idea of which clocks you wanted the employees to use?
Right now we just have a magnetic strip card, so I want to keep that one, one just like it probably, just so it's easier for the employees they know what to do with this one. So
Okay.
or with
So
one, yeah.
So you want an actual piece of hardware?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the most basic one we offer is the Z14.
Okay.
Okay. And you can do either a proximity badge or a mag stripe. Okay, a mag stripe has that magnetic stripe on the back and you swipe it like a credit card.
Yeah.
Or the proximity badge, which is the one I recommend. It's cheaper and the badges won't wear out. Is the Z14. Okay, so all they do is they just scan their card by the sensor and then press the in or out key.
Okay.
Okay, so this clock right here is going to run you 450 activated. And then each proximity card, they are specific, so the ones you have won't work, unfortunately. They are $2.50 per card, and we do sell those.
Okay, so let's say I quit and I turn in my card. Will I be able to reuse that card for somebody else?
Yes, you can repurpose
Okay.
the cards.
Okay, without losing the information from me. So I can go, like if I decide to come back and I want to know how many hours I worked the last time I was here, could I like go back to my time card or back to my my punches, I guess, and see where I was, even though my card's been given to somebody else?
So the answer is yes and no. So the cards you can repurpose. So if I gave you a card and that ID was 1234, each time you scan the card, it recognizes that you are 1234, and Tori is now making an in or out. You can use that card for a year, and we're going to record all of your daily punches and your total hours worked. If you were to leave and I repurpose that card to John, I'm going to deactivate you in the system. So as an employee, when you're deactivated, you no longer have access to the system whatsoever. So you can't access your time cards, any previous information, right? You're locked out.
Right.
But if you were to call, say, your HR manager, aka yourself, and say, hey, I, for whatever reason, need to, prove my employment history there. Can I get a report? Then they can retrieve that information for you. So the system doesn't delete anything. We retain all of your records from the time you sign up.
Okay. Good. Right now, our time cards, we can reuse them, but if we put the time card number on somebody else, it gets rid of all of
It deletes everything else.
That has the card, it gets rid of all of their punches.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. If we don't approve the punches, it deletes them all, too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you don't approve them, it deletes them. Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have a month to approve them or they're all deleted.
Yeah, that's a scary system.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Yeah, I would get away from that. So our system won't delete anything, right? So for example, let's say you hand someone a card, but you forgot to assign that card to the employee. Our system will still accept that punch and then throw it into the system as just a gathered punch. And then you are able to assign that to the appropriate employee. So our system won't delete anything ever. Once it's there for good.
All right, good.
Okay. Okay, so I show here that you have about 50 employees. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does that pivot at all? Does that fluctuate?
We never go over 50.
You never go over 50. Okay.
Right. It's usually right around 48, 49, 50, so.
Okay. I'll put it at 45. I just like to put a base in to give you guys some fluctuation, because the bill, right, you can add as many employees as you want into the system. And so this month, if you've got 50, your invoice will be 200. But let's say next month you've got 60. Then your invoice will be for what? 2,400? Is that right? Yeah. No, 240. Sorry. So it will fluctuate, right? But let's say you guys drop from 1 month to 50 down to 45. You'll only be billed for 45 instead of the 50. So there's fluctuation there. Okay. Okay, so 45 E's. And did you just need a single clock, or did you need a couple?
No, just one.
Just one? Okay. And then do you want to do like 60 or 70 proximity cards? So you got some extras, or?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay, I'll do 70. Okay, here's what I will do. I will create a proposal, and I will send you a DocuSign so you can see what the monthly charges would be and what your one-time cost would be for the clock and the setup. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, sign that, get it back to me. And then I'll just send you a recap email. I'll put in there what we discussed today. I'll break down the timeline if you want to get started, and I'll include that spreadsheet for the employee names for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So is the scheduling part, is it part of it?
So there's
Or,
actually there's two different levels of scheduling that the system offers. And so it really depends on what your needs are. So before I tell you, tell me a little bit more about how you schedule employees, and does it change every day, or do they work the repeating shift every week? Kind of break it down for me.
well, we have some that work the same every day. So like me, I work the same hours every day, and some of our department heads. But we have like CNAs and nurses, and so sometimes they work 8-hour shifts, sometimes they work 4, sometimes they work 12. You know, it just depends. But right now, we're using all paper schedules. So
Oh, wow.
I would like to update our, well, I take that back. Most of our departments are using paper schedules. Our nursing department is using an online database.
Okay.
But if this is all with the punches, the timekeeping part, then I wouldn't mind updating our nursing one.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let
Yeah.
me show you.
Okay. Yeah. Show me.
Yeah, so that's exactly. So we'll look at the higher scheduling tool because of the fluctuation.
Okay.
So what'll happen is once we turn that on, it does change the $4 price tag to $6.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so $6 per E. And then your one-time setup may go up to like $500 total instead of that $388. So not too bad. But you'll get this little scheduling link here, and when you click that, you've got the option to launch the program, or you can run some reports, and the reporting will take a look at your schedule and the timekeeping and compare the two, which is really helpful. Okay. Time simplicity is the scheduling component that works with TimeWorks Plus. TimeWorks Plus is the timekeeping system we just looked at. Okay. How time simplicity is designed to work is every employee that's in your timekeeping system will be pushed over into time simplicity. So they'll have a profile in here as well. What we do at the very first is we come in and we define the profile of that employee. So we put in their contact information so we can text and email them. We put in rules of how many hours minimum they can work or maximum they can work, or maybe it's a number of shifts that they're limited to work in a week. Okay? Then we come in and we define those rules even deeper. So do we have any rules surrounding minors, or work week rules, compliance rules, if we need to put in a template of some sort? Then we tell the system where and when can this employee work. So they have to be qualified and available. So if we need to track any type of certifications for like your CNAs or your RNs, we can put that all in here to track it. Okay.
Good.
Once we tell the system who the employees are, where they're qualified to work, and how they can work, then we can come to the actually scheduling program itself. And it works a lot like a spreadsheet. Okay. Now there's a few different ways that we can create schedules. So if I go to a blank one here, let me go out a few weeks. So I can start from scratch here, and I can come to my HR assistant and I can double click and I can name and I can create when do you start and when do you stop, and if I want you to take a lunch. And I can include any additional notes if I need to. I can save and I can close that, and now I've got that shift. If I need to duplicate this shift, all I have to do is highlight the days, and I can copy this, and I can paste it into these cells right here.
Okay.
If it'll work. Come on. Copy. Bam. Nope. Okay, that's one way.
Okay.
Okay. The second way is to do a auto populate. So we tell the system, hey, here are our departments, and within each department, here's how many employees or here's how many shifts I need to be filled. The system will look at data that we've input in, and it will automatically fill all of my open positions out to the available and qualified personnel. Okay, so you can auto schedule if you would like.
Okay.
Okay. Now the second way, or the third way I should say, is to create shifts or templates shifts. So each department, whether it be nursing, CNA, front desk, HR, X-ray technicians, we can create that work group and assign employees to that work group, and then we tell the system how many shifts are within that work group. So is there a morning shift? If so, it's 7 to 3. Then there's a day shift. Day shift is noon to 5. And maybe there's a night shift. Okay? Whatever shifts I need, they're going to populate up here in my open shifts. So whatever open for the week, whatever I need filled, all I need to do is just drag and drop that to the appropriate individual.
Okay.
Okay? That is the bare bones of this system. I could talk about this thing for hours, but that is the bare bones.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, we have like different departments that do different schedules. So if my DON only does nursing, would he only be able to see the nursing part and not, housekeeping and office and all of that?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Good deal.
Yep. So we can separate it out, and you've got the role here, right? So I can toggle roles. If my only role is a manager, at what level of management do I have to show or to create schedules? So am I a super user, meaning I can see every department and I can create schedules? Or have I been limited to just my sales reps? And all I can schedule are my sales reps.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's say somebody calls in for their shift tomorrow, and so I have an open shift. Can I send out a mass text message to everybody, telling them, hey, I have an open shift for tomorrow for this? Is there any kind of way to do that?
You sure can. That is one of my favorite features on this system. And let me show you. So, if I go back to my home screen, this top bar up at the is going to show me how many unassigned or open shifts I may have available. Okay. So for instance, today I've got 3 open shifts. So I could click on today and I can see all my open shifts. Okay. That's one way. Now I can click on here and I can go to my scheduler, and it's going to show me the shifts that need to be filled. They're going to be highlighted.
Okay.
So if I need to fill this shift, I can right click on it and I can say, who can work this? And based off of all the rules that we've set into the system, this list is going to show me who is qualified, who is available, and then if anybody's name is in red, they can't work it maybe because they've set up a preference and it conflicts with their schedule, they're already working, or they're about to hit overtime.
Okay.
Okay, so from here, I can mass text or email this entire group letting them know about a shift.
Okay.
Okay. So you can do that on the fly. So if an employee shows or calls in sick, we can do that on any single open shift available. So if I need to quickly find a replacement, I've got the tools to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So then if I get a text message, you know, saying, hey, there's an open shift for Friday, would you like it? Can I like respond to that message and say yes, or, you know, type in a code or something, and then it tells my supervisor that I'm available and I want it?
So how the text messaging works. So if you were to receive this text, it's coming from our system and it's a do not respond text. But
Okay.
what we've done is if I go back as the employee, let me close that down. And if I come into my portal here, I can also check my schedule.
Okay.
Okay. Now on this schedule here, I have the ability to pick up shifts.
Okay.
Okay. So I could go in there and I can pick up shifts. I can also drop or swap shifts as an employee. Now those are just requests, right? So if I don't want to work tomorrow and I want to trade my schedule with you, I would come in here and I would make a request to drop my shift. And then once I submit that, my manager is emailed and he either approves or denies that swap.
Okay.
Okay, so every pickup shift, every drop shift or swap shift, it has to go to a manager for approval.
Okay.
Okay, now when that manager approves that, it will update this schedule automatically.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's some other cool features that employees have. So if they go into the employee facing portal, this is just a rubber room. They can't hurt anybody. So if you publish your schedule more than 2 weeks in advance, they'll be able to see their entire schedule. Okay.
Okay.
They can drop or pick up shifts here. Okay. They just pick a day, drop it, submit the request to a manager. Okay. But they can come in here and they can do a couple of different things. So they have a notification center. So they can tell the system to text or email them when certain actions are done in the system. So when you publish the schedule, do you want to print it out or do you want to email it and text it to every staff member so they can view it on through their portal? Or if my manager changes my published schedule 3 days in, I want to be notified of those changes so I'm not taken by any surprise. Okay, so they tell you how they want to be notified. They can also tell you their preferences, what days they prefer to work. So Monday, I prefer to work all day. I'm wide open. Okay, but on Sunday, I can't work, so I'm going to block out the whole day. Right? So they can come in here and tell you, hey, I'm going to school on this day. It may conflict. It may conflict with that day. And again, it's up to you as a manager to say, okay, I agree to that or no. Right? You're taking every Saturday night and Sunday night off. I'm not going to agree to that.
Yeah.
So just some cool little features to help interact with staff and management when they create schedules.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot that these two systems can do when they're piggybacking off of each other, right? So we can track hours, we can track overtime, certifications. You've got your calculation bars down here at the bottom that you can turn on, and we can customize these bars to track different labor prompts or hours, forecasting if you need to.
Okay.
What do you think? Is this kind of what you're looking for as far as a scheduling program goes?
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. I know that my DON was looking for a new system for scheduling.
Yeah,
Actually, I was going to ask you, if I see that you're recording this, can I get a copy of it?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay, so that I can show him, because he won't care about the timekeeping stuff, but the scheduling part he'll want to see. So, uh,
absolutely. And I would recommend to take the today's session to him, have him glance over it. If it raises his eyebrow at all, let's schedule another call because
okay,
there's a lot that I didn't get into the scheduling program, um,
yeah,
especially when it works together with timekeeping, right?
yeah,
Because if you think about it, timekeeping is just recording time, right? Once we
right,
introduce scheduling and we tell the system, hey, here's what time Tori is supposed to be at work, now we can track better of what's happening throughout the day, right? Here's what we wanted to happen with scheduling. Here's what's actually happening with timekeeping. How do we fix it?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay.
I have a couple questions here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right now in our system, we can only view active employees, but then if we needed to see an inactive employee, it's just a click of a button. Is it that easy for this one too?
It sure is. So we just go into the timekeeping and I would come to my employee setup. And then I've got my options up here. So I've got these two options, or I can filter by group, specific employees, all deactivated employees, you name it. You just change the view of what you're looking for.
All right, cool. And then I assume this is possible, but I just want to make sure. Do I have the capability of changing and having custom pay periods?
So you can't change them, but yes, we can set the system up to have custom pay periods.
Okay, well, we already have it set. I mean, it doesn't ever change, but I just wanted to make sure that it's not a bi-weekly thing or something. We have it set from the 1st through the 15th and then the 16th through the end of the month.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Or,
totally fine. That's like semi-monthly.
okay,
What we need to be not concerned about, but something to think about is, are all the employees on the same pay schedule?
yes.
Okay. Um, and when you identify your work week, does everybody follow the same work week, so to speak?
You mean like Sunday to Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Some clients I work with, they'll have one department where their work week starts on Tuesday, and then another department, their work week starts on Thursday. So I just always
Wow.
like to ask. Yeah. Seen some
No, we
weird
don't do that.
stuff.
We're not that complicated.
Okay. All right.
um,
Monday through
and,
Saturday. Oh, yeah, go ahead. What else did you have?
um, sometimes, let's say I have an employee that calls in and they can't come in, and so they usually call the business office, and so sometimes if they have sick time, we can just say, hey, do you want to use your sick time for this? And they most of the time they say yes. So can I, as an administrator on the system, can I manually put in sick time for them, or will they have to request the sick time?
No, so they can request sick time and it is retroactive, like 20 days, I think. So if you
Okay.
wanted them to, they could submit a sick day request, you could approve it, and it would automatically happen for you.
Okay.
The other way is to do exactly what you just said. So I go and find that employee, I click on their time card, I go to the specific date. Of course, they're not here, right? So
Right.
no entry has been made. So all I need to do is just add a time entry. So I could put
Okay.
in an in and an out if I want, or under our categories here, we're just going to put sick and however many hours they want.
Okay.
And then you can save it.
All right. Good. That's kind
Okay.
of how ours is now, so that's
hmm
good.
So yeah, you could do
All
it
right.
either way. have them request it, and then you just approve it, or you just manually go and enter it in on that specific day.
All right, perfect. That's all my questions on my list here, so.
All right. Well, sounds like we checked them all off. So let me do this. I will send you a DocuSign, and it sounds like you're going to want to go with both timekeeping and scheduling. So that's how I'll quote it.
Okay.
I'll send that over to you. I'll send you a recording of today's meeting, and then I'll include the spreadsheet for the employee list. Share that with your team. If we need to have another call, let me know. Otherwise, when you're ready to get started, let me know, and we can do that for you.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, Tori, it was a pleasure. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate. Let me know.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.